Listen, surfing is a passion for us that should last a lifetime. I'm over 50 years old and just surfing alone doesn't cut it for me anymore. In fact, surfing every day makes me stiffer. And now that I live in Florida, I find myself spending most of my time out there paddling because we got no channels. And you know, a lot of paddling will ultimately contribute to a lot of neck stiffness. And neck stiffness means less range of motion. Let's discuss why it's important to keep your range of motion for your neck. Now, there's actually 4 reasons why we should keep the neck nice and loose for surfing. First off, we have neck extension while we're paddling. So our neck is in extension while we're paddling because we want to keep our eyes on the horizon. We want to see what direction we're paddling at. Second runner-up is your pop-up. Having a stiff neck will definitely affect your pop-up, and it's going to throw your whole timing off on that wave. Thirdly, having a stiff neck will make it virtually impossible to rotate your neck while you're paddling to scan for waves. And last but not least, if it's heavy out there and you have a stiff neck and you wipe out and being ragdolled underwater is not a very pleasant experience. This will just make your neck situation even worse. Now hear me out. There's hope for us seasoned surfers. Hallelujah. Today, I want to briefly introduce you guys to the world of AIS stretching. Active isolated stretching. Now, I use this technique on all my surfers here at Kinetic Performance, and it's changed them drastically. So here's a quick briefing of what active isolated stretching is. Instead of holding a stretch for 30 seconds, we're gonna hold it for 2 seconds. And we're gonna count it as repetitions. So we're gonna do 10 to 15 repetitions of each stretch. Physiologists have discovered that holding a stretch over 2 seconds may invoke the stretch reflex. And in layman's terms, activating the stretch reflex will contract the muscle. Now, it's very hard to stretch a muscle when it's being contracted. Folks, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good stretch techniques out there, but the AIS stretching techniques that I use in this gym for the past 20 years, I see the best results from. Remember, folks, if you have true cervical spine damage, these stretches are not for you. You need to see a very specialized orthopedic in your area. We'll take time in other episodes to dive deeper into active isolated stretching, but let's get on to the neck stretches. I want to stop for 1 second because I have exciting news. Folks, I'm super excited here. I finally created a 5-week online at-home surf conditioning program called First Steps. Now, First Steps is a tried and proven program that I've used with my own surfers here at this gym. Just keep in mind, as we get older, surfing's not the end-all be-all. We're gonna need to supplement it with some exercise. It is designed for surfers exclusively over 40 years old who are trying to get back into surf peak performance. Now, if you're one of those seasoned surfers out there in the water struggling with paddling, actual surfing, or your pop-up, this program is perfect for you. Now, I've designed this in-home program so you don't have to come to the gym. All you need is a set of bands and a ball. Now, with that being said, let's get back to the neck stretches.
First up, the cervical lateral flexion stretch. And please pardon my voice, I have a little bit of laryngitis going on. Any of these stretches could be done standing up or sitting down. If you are sitting down, make sure you're not leaning on the back of the chair. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You can see me here placing my finger on my chin because I want to push that chin in to have a nice, straight, neutral cervical spine. You can see me here placing my right hand over the left side of my skull. And I'm going to use that hand to gently assist with the stretch, maybe adding a half a pound of pressure. Even though it may seem like I'm using my right hand to do the stretch, I'm actually using my right lateral flexors to do the stretch. So real quick, AIS stretching uses the theory of reciprocal inhibition. So here's the cool part. The law of reciprocal inhibition states that when a muscle on one side of the joint is contracted, the muscle on the opposite side sends a neurological signal to relax or release. In simple terms, I'm contracting the right side of my neck to bring my right ear to the right shoulder, thus allowing the left side of my neck to be stretched. This is why it's called active isolated stretching. You're actively participating in the stretch using the opposite side of the muscle. Ooh, now that we got that out of the way, let's stretch the right side of the lateral neck muscles. Place your finger on your chin and check for a neutral cervical spine. Go ahead and place your left hand on the right side of your skull. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder by contracting the left lateral neck muscles. Don't forget you're using that left hand to gently assist with the stretch, a half a pound of pressure. Remember, we want to hold the stretch for 2 seconds and release to neutral. 10 to 15 reps is all you need to do. Now, with these two first stretches, we were stretching the cervical lateral flexors. Moving on to the next two stretches, we're just going to tweak it just a little bit so we can stretch other muscles. Instead of having our eyes and chin facing forward, we're going to look to the left and having our chin facing at a 45-degree angle. Make sure you keep your eyes lined up to the horizon. Once again, get that right hand and put it on the left side of your skull. Just like the first stretch, contract your right flexor muscles, bringing your right ear to the right shoulder, but don't change the direction of the chin. Make sure it's kept at a 45-degree angle. Now remember, this new angle, you're gonna feel different muscles being stretched. On this second stretch, here is a list of muscles that you will be stretching. And when we're done with this side, we're going to move on to the opposite side using the same method with that 45-degree angle, keeping the eyes on the horizon. Now, I did forget to mention the breathing pattern. Yes, you need to breathe with each rep, and it goes like this. Inhale, hold it, and exhale at the return. Inhale, hold it, exhale at the return. Inhale, and exhale. I know there's a lot to remember. Guys, not to worry. There's a link on the bottom of the description and the YouTube video, and click on that and I can send you a PDF form with a lot of details. Next up, we have cervical flexion. Let's make sure that we're sitting up nice and tall, and we're gonna tuck that chin in as close as possible to the back of the neck. It's a no-brainer stretch. We are going to drop the chin to our chest, and using both of our hands behind our skull, we're going to give about a half a pound of pressure. Now remember, the front cervical flexors are going to be contracted to drop the chin so we can stretch the neck extensors in the back. Once again, you want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You don't want to bend or curve at the top of your shoulders. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've learned a thing or two on neck stretches. It would mean a lot to me if you like and subscribe. Don't forget the link for the PDF for the neck stretches are down below. Mahalo.